And we are live. Hi, everybody. Michael here. Welcome in. Happy Friday. I hope you're having a great morning / afternoon, whatever part of the world you are tuning in from. Let me know in the comments, what area are you in? Your home office, at work, driving, trying to get home, taking care of your family? Are you off today? What do you have going on? Let me know. So in this video, I will be getting into the business loan or / business funding application process, the walkthrough, what to expect. So I want you guys to come into a place where you can get seated, just like I'm sitting right next to you, like we're watching a movie together. Really, I'm not across the table from you. Feel very comfortable, like you have a friend and or family member in front of you. I don't pressure anybody. I don't overpromise and underdeliver. I do not overwhelm people. I give you the right education and value to make the right informed decision. It's like the saying goes, I can walk a horse to the water, but will it drink? Will it go in for a swim? Will it take a dive in? What would it do? But in this, would the person swim? Would they put their 2 feet in, go diving deep? Would they just go on the shallow end, or what would happen? So, excuse me, I will be getting into parts of the process in what I believe to be the best business funding application there is out there. And I'll go into multiple. Some of this I cannot share with you guys, the actual provider on screen, because they've asked to a lot of the times. And that's great because exclusivity matters. That shows that, hey, we very much do care. And in some places I can share more than others. But what I will be going over are the step-by-step processes from step 1 to step 3 or so, in saying, okay, well, here's where we begin. This is where you would click. This is where then you would go next. And this is the type of application you'll be walked through. And I'll put it in the comments soon. But again, let me know, where are you tuning in from? And I'm going to be showing you some non-startup, some startup funding application processes. I'll be putting them there. Perhaps you are like, well, I'm taking today off or tomorrow. Hey, I work Saturdays too. And this is my independent business loan broker business. And I have multiple others. I run a digital marketing agency, affiliate marketing businesses. I've been in a 9-to-5 role. Well, oh, really? Yeah, a long time ago. And I worked from a financial logistics business. And I was, oh man, I was underappreciated, underpaid, undervalued. I couldn't move up a level. I'll probably speak about my story later, but I've received funding from my businesses. So I know exactly the psychology, the pain, the problems, the questions, the roadblocks, unlike anybody else. And I do this day to day. So, all right, let me see. I might open up a share screen, but I might just go along like this until we probably get to that point. So what I'm looking at on one of my other views is the actual application. And I'm going to put it in the comments for you guys shortly. So please hang in there with me. So let me navigate you. What will happen is there are 3 types of funding. There is the revenue-based, cash flow somewhat based. There is, it depends on the service as well. So revenue-based, there's credit-based, collateral. Those are the 3 you need to keep in mind as we go through this video. So revenue, all bank statements we're asking for. If we needed tax returns, we'll ask for them. If you're wanting more than 100 or 150,000, usually year-to-date financials we'll ask for. Some cases, not all, depending on the lender. And so what happens is it's all revenue, not just credit card statements like a traditional merchant cash advance, if you've heard of those. This is encompassing all revenue going into the business, or you can call it a hybrid cash advance / term loan, non-bank loan. So we want to put that out there too. These are not traditional bank loans. Well, I tried to tune in because he said business loan. Well, I could have also said business funding. So there's business loans. There are business funding services where it's based on your future receivables. And we're going to focus a bit on that. And that's what the market is. I'll go to the comments. You guys can leave anything if you guys would like to, but I'll get to it soon. Appreciate you. Thank you. And so business funding services are different than what you would expect with a bank loan. So do not be hung up as we go through this. This is why it's important. This is why I don't just say, click the link. You know how those influencers out there go, just here, they're going to give you some education, but you just click the link and you just went to go sign up and you found out, well, oh, this is what I wanted. Why am I getting these rates? Why am I getting 10 months when I should have wanted, or I needed 24 months or 48 months or 10 years? See, your expectations, there's a misconception. So I'll go into some of that in a moment. But what I'm seeing right now, this is for non-startups. Let's start off there first, non-startups, and then I'll go into startups. So please hang in there with me. Any comments, please do so, and I'll get back to you. So on my other tab, what I'm seeing here, there's a page that you will land on, and I'll put this in the comments. You'll go to this page, and perhaps you've already have done this, and you're like, oh, that looks familiar. I've already received funding with them. And so what you'll see is very exclusive, very helpful, and I believe to be the best partnerships that I have with my internal team. The lenders, the underwriters, the association I have, I've yet to find something this strong. And I built these personal and business relationships with these lenders where we do more of an in-house look. So directly, you already have them, but it's better to do it more in-house. So right here, you'll go to a page and it'll have maybe something blue on screen. You want to navigate to the navigation. If it's on mobile, the 3 little line icons on the top right, usually select there, but you'll get from anywhere between business capital to line of credit, self-employed funding, equipment financing, asset-backed financing, employee pay advance, employee retention credit, payment processing. So if you're looking for revenue-based financing, where I would begin is clicking on the business capital, which I'm doing now, and I'll go to another share screen, so just hang in there with me. And on this page, you'll then want to go in. We want to help fund your business's growth. When your bank can't help, or any other bank, we can. Apply now and fuel your business with up to $2 million this week. And before I go into any of that, we have a meet or beat guarantee. So if myself and my team cannot beat the offer you have, we'll give you a $500 gift card. Seriously, no joke. That's how much confidence and certainty we have. And I'm going to give you guys a funding story in just a second of what to be careful about. That's why this live is very important for you guys to hear. But we can give you a $500 gift card. Let's say you go somewhere else and they were going to give you $50,000. All right. Now we come over here under this umbrella, which I know a lot of the times we usually beat offers. We're very ethical. And what we have is super powerful. Unlike anything else out there. You've probably been shopping, shipping around your information. You're just overwhelmed. You're tired. I want somebody I can trust, rely upon. And even when you come through me, these other brokers have rights over you for a certain amount of time. And it's like, man, I didn't want to go through them. Michael, I wanted to go through you. You're giving me the education. This stuff I can't always find on the internet. And if I find it, it's always surface level. It's not in depth. That's a huge difference. And why? I'll get into that a little bit deeper later on. But a $500 gift card, meet or beat your offer. Are you serious? And guess what? There's also this Cash Connect. If you know, you know. But you can get about 2% on all funding. So if you receive funding, I want to pay it off faster, Michael, cheaper. Get more funding underneath the same umbrella, same lender or another one. You can come back. We can find a different lender. And I'll go to work. What's happening on the back end is myself and my team are going out there to the right underwriters, the right lender or lenders and saying, we want 3 of these for this construction business. I know they work well. I'm going to entice this one, pull this one. But realistically, we wanted that one. Once this one starts seeing what these other ones are coming in for, if that's the case, this one goes, they were giving them 50. Yeah, I can give them about 80,000. Over there, they were getting 10 months. Maybe we just stick with 10 months. I think I can get them 12 months. So better rates, I manage that. So these are the things you have to be well aware of and who you work with. So the $500 gift card, and I'll go into the story here in a second. So on this page, it'll give you some of the qualifications. And I want to go through it even in more thorough detail for you guys. It's not just bottom level. You look at a website and say, well, these are the qualifications. Why didn't I qualify? Why didn't I get the rates I wanted? There's so many questions. And so down below here, I'm looking at it on fast funding, value cash flow more than credit score. Yes, we do. Bad credit is okay. Only a 500 FICO. In some instances, we've seen 450 and above, but 500 is really it. 550 in some cases with different revenue, lower revenue, but it's per case. Unsecured, no collateral, minimal amount of paperwork, repeat customer benefits, simple presentation of the total cost of capital, nothing to confuse you about. So on this part, minimum qualifications, I'll go into in a moment here, but it's not what I said with credit. Only need a minimum of 4 months time in business, usually 500 plus credit, as I said, anywhere in the US or Canada. Monthly revenue as low as 5,000 and above. If you're doing less than 5,000 or less than 15,000, then yeah, we can work with that. If you're doing 3,000 and above, but not 5,000 and over, there's another requirement and another service and another lender that we have. And you can go through this same app sequence, which is very amazing. Over 700 different industries have been served. So I'm going to click now on the apply now, which you'll do as well. So it'll open up a new tab and it would do so for you. And on what I'm looking at, I'm going to walk you guys through the 3 or 4 step process on how this goes. So what I'm seeing Again, some of this I can't show you guys because they asked for. It's very safe and secure. It's just something that they would require. It's not like, oh, you can't show us all the time. Sometimes I can't show bits and parts of it, but some of it it's like they want to be in this longer. And so they don't want to just be anybody and everybody. And they work the best. I'm being very serious in what we do on our back end when we see documentation, when we go through all that. So here I'm seeing the meet or beat guarantee. On the right side, you're going to get to enter your information like first name, last name, company name, mobile preferred, and then your email required. Please input your best one. Don't just auto-populate a field if it did that. Country, select from United States or Canada. You might have different businesses in both places. And then you should have my name underneath that populated with my ID number. If not, I can probably leave it in the comments, but it should be there. You shouldn't have to input it. And so you'll click submit. But let me go over the 4-step process on how this works, and then we'll go into another screen. Step 1, you will apply. You'll complete the simple application. You will be done in literally minutes. Literally, this isn't no catch 22. What's the catch, Michael? The catch is if you don't understand your business. That's the catch. I'm not saying that negatively or aggressively. Is if you have the qualifications, yet at the end of the day, you're like, well, it's the rate, Michael. I don't want a medium to higher rate. I don't want terms of 6-7 months. Well, what are you using this money for? Are you using this money to double, triple, quadruple your revenue? If not, for fixes, but what would that do to your cash flow? Maybe it will not put it in a better position, even if you already are. But do you only qualify for this? Is this your best solution? Is what you have to ask yourself. Is it my best solution? Yeah, I know I've heard of personal funding, but that'll be on my personal to report timely payments to the personal credit bureaus that way. And if I don't make the payments, I know it stretches it out over 1 to 5 years, 6 to 18 months, 6 to 18% interest on those personal loans, personal lines of credit, personal credit cards, or whatever you're looking at doing. Well, if I went bankrupt, this is going to be a huge problem. And if I can't make the payments, my family's on the line now. And that's just a chance that you're willing to take. If that's your only option, that's fine. For startups, non-startups, whatever position you're trying to save money, mortgages. But over here, even if you got a higher rate slightly or whatever it is, it might not report timely payments to the personal and business credit bureaus, which is fine. You shouldn't even have to look at it from, well, it doesn't build my business credit. There are other ways of building your business credit. These are not traditional business loans. There's vendor credit, revolving credit lines, business credit cards. There's other ways of doing it I can help you with. I do all of this. So over here, let's go back to this. So make sure that the benefit exceeds your repayment. No, none of that. It's, does the benefit exceed your repayment? I've been in lives with people who go, these are loan sharks. One of my friends took the money and I was in the default. Well, what did your friend do? Did they know what they were getting involved with? It's all about perspective. Every business and business owner thinks and has a different business that you think about differently. And so how you built it, what you need, this is a huge and a great benefit if you use it correctly. You have an idea, you have a pattern, you know what you're doing. You're putting $1 and getting 2 out, $1 in now, you want $3 out, you want a better ROI, return on ad spend. I do all of this stuff myself in my businesses. So there's no excuse. Now, the only excuse is if you don't know, and that's okay. I'll take that off your shoulders if somebody hasn't educated you. So step 1, you apply. And I'll go into the application link. I'll give you guys in the comments. Step 1, apply. Complete our simple application. Again, you will be done in minutes, literally. Step 2, and in this app process, just so you know, once you go through it, you'll then be asked several questions. What is your credit score level at? What's your monthly, lowest monthly, average monthly? What kind of service are you looking for? What would you need to use the funds for, perhaps, etc.? And so you'll want to input that. And based off of these questions, you will then be derived and sent to a specific lender or a specific organization. And I'm connected with them, whether it's directly or indirectly. As I said, I already have those direct lender partnerships. A lot of this is better to do it in-house. And we look at things on the back end, and I'll get into this in a moment. But it'll navigate you. If you're doing less revenue, then, okay, you have 3 months credit. Okay, even if your credit is an issue, but you're generating the lowest amount is $3,000 per month, we'll send you to a specific lender. Okay, you don't have any? Well, you shouldn't have started this application. So we'll go into another one in a moment for startups, and I'll leave this information on the replay in time. The description will be there. So please read or have somebody else help you with that. Please, I beg of you, please. Energy and time efficiency matters greatly to me. I don't want you just sporadically putting in an application. My team wastes myself, their energy and time, my reputation on the line. Hey, Michael, what happened to that person? And I'm going to get into a story right now where that kind of just went backwards and it wasn't my fault. And I didn't do anything to deserve this. And it was just somebody else who just decides to. And it happened some time ago as well with someone else, but it rarely ever does. It's just people who let their egos, let their stubbornness, let their cockiness, let their personality traits, characteristic traits. No, we leave those out the door. Okay? I'm a very nice person. Just don't mistake my kindness for weakness. Very nice, humble person, respectful. So my younger brother, my family would tell you. Now here, step 1 applies, we said. Step 2, then you're going to link bank or upload statements. Let me say that again. You're going to link your bank, your banking institution details. It's very safe and secure. I know those of you in here right now thinking, oh, I got to link my bank. There's certain banks that don't because your bank doesn't allow it to. And so you may have to check with your bank to then allow them access, if so. Not all can. So you'll have to link for a specific revenue service, not all the time where you have to link though, okay? So don't be like, I got to link this. No, you'll likely link or you're more than likely going to upload your statements. So there will be a safe and secure access in our digital app sequence where you'll be able to submit at least 3 months of bank statements, a copy of your driver's license, and a voided check. For California and certain states, then 4 months. How do you submit that 4th month if it's not asked for in the app sequence? Well, I'll navigate you. I'll likely reach out once I see everything on the back end. Our team has it as well. Able to look through it, all of us look through it all, make sure everything looks nice and clean and it's going through underwriting. Hey, can we collect your 4th month? We're looking for, let's say, the October month or the November month, whichever that one is that you're missing out on. Your most 3 recent you upload, and then the one that's left out, hey, can you submit it to my team here? I'll be notified. I'll see it. I'll likely see it or not, or this is how it'll be sent. Then we'll look at it from that end. And sometimes I'll say send it directly to my email. It just depends with separate states like California laws and a few other states. I can't, as the independent business loan broker, always collect documentation. That's just how it is for everybody for certain states. And it could be like that more so in the future, but we'll get it on our back end and be able to look at that with the internal team as well. So you'll do that depending on the funding type and the amount. You will be approved simply by verifying and linking your bank account or by uploading your bank statements. So 3 months, sometimes 4, copy of your driver's license, and a voided check. Now, don't be that person who starts the process and can't commit. There's nothing worse than somebody who gets cold feet. Literally. And you may find that because you're like, well, I expected something different. And if you came through a different wave through me, the reasoning why, and I'm going to leave a questionnaire in the description later on of a questionnaire you can fill out if you haven't. And if you have, I'll get back to you. If I have gone back to you, please stop being that person who's just never allows for feedback or just disappears. Why'd you submit something? Don't waste my energy and time. Go away. If you're that person who just submits something, because I'm not like anybody and everybody. I go to work. I'm a broker. I'm able to review documentation, look through the bank statements, look through things with my team. And I go on the back end and do more work, finding the right lenders with my team, making sure that communication is transparent with my team. And I don't waste any of my lenders' organization time. When they hear from me, they pick up the call or it's an email. They check it right away. They know, hey, that's Michael. They know I'm not wasting their energy and time. They know how punctual I am. I'll even say it if it's a phone call. Hi, and then their name. I just had a question to this. I won't take up any more than a minute. I get right to it. Appreciate you. Thank you. Bye. Simple. But a lot of us, we want to complicate things, and I won't complicate la vida, or in other words, the life of someone. So back to this, and I'll go into a share screen soon in the story. So you're going to upload them, very safe and secure. Step 3, you receive your offer and you get funded. With most fundings, you will receive an instant offer on the screen. With our larger fundings and lines of credit, you will receive an offer via email within 1 hour to 1 business day. So within the app sequence, you're able to select a business line of credit. You want both that and a cash out advance, a term loan, and a line of credit, whatever it is. But it doesn't mean you're going to qualify for a line of credit or even a term loan or an advance if you don't have the right depositing, the right revenue, which is a minimum on this one, 5,000 and above. 15,000 is better. 5,000 and above, don't expect to be getting approved for 30,000. How are you going to get 30,000? You can't even get that on your personal cards. You can, or you maybe can't. So why would you expect to get 40,000 doing 55,000? You only get approved usually between 75% at that revenue level on your lowest of 5,000 to about 200,000. But with lower revenue, you usually get approved for less. Stronger cash flow, stronger revenue, stronger use for funds, but we're going to try to get you the most. If you're not over leveraged, great. You got to start somewhere. Pay off the balance, come back and receive more funding. Well, the rates. No, it's not the rates. It's how you use your funding. It's how you use this. It's not about how expensive it is. Nothing is inexpensive anymore. Even prime rates, bank rates, never been so close to SBA loans and other types of funding, collateralized, 7.75, or it's going to be going up soon to 8 or so. If so, 8% plus 2 to 3, 2 to 7%. You're paying into the medium teens. So get this out of your head where who can get 6,000 and pay 10,000? The right person. Who can take 6,000 and pay 7,000, 8,000? The right person. Who can't? The person who can't. So here we go through step 3, which is receive the offer and you get funded. As I said already, step 4, this is the last one. You share the great news and you can save. So again, like I said earlier, you can ask and I'll share this with you. You might get a specific code, but our Connect Cash exclusive partnership that nobody else out there has. And when you work with a dedicated broker like me, they love me working with them. There's specific people in the organization who know about me very, very well. And I know lenders and I know I have connections personally and in business. Now, if you betray that, and I'm going to get into that in a second, you can bet I won't go the distance for you. You can come back. You don't have to get on your knees and beg. I'm not doing that thing, but there's a higher chance that I may help you. It's just, who are you loyal to is the question. Are you even loyal to the people? If you already have funding, are you even loyal to them? Do you even know who they are? No, Michael, I just was tired. I had to select something in the email where I was getting bombarded with 20,000 different lenders. And I'm not sure about this one, but they were giving me something good. That is not a good answer at all. That is terrible. If that's how you want to do your business, then you go ahead and do that. I care about a person first, literally the person, literally. No, the person. Who's the human? Who's their character? What do they got? You got to peel me back at a layer at a time. That one layer, 3, 4, 5 times before it actually gets peeled. That's who I am. For me to trust you, you're asking if you can trust me. Can I trust you? I can trust myself. I'm easygoing. A lot of people can trust me very easily. I'm probably one of the most trustworthy people, excuse me. But when it comes to this end, I'm asking of your end if you'll have it together. Because what gets in the way is the person, not me at this point. What gets in the way is the other person on that other screen. Literally, I've been in this industry long enough to know that what is unpredictable is the person. So if you're going to already fight this and go, well, I don't want to get started, and well, I got all of these options, and well, I'm more than happy to hear you out. Questionnaire down below. If you have, I'll get back to you soon. If I have already, you know that. But if you're this person who's just going to be like, I'm over here one day, I accepted an offer here, now you're coming to me, where I told you not to do that, which is what I'm going to get into now. And I'll share the link. Guys, actually, let me do this now. Let me put the link in the comments, but I don't want you guys just to start clicking away. That's why I didn't want to put it right now until I finish the story, but I will on a specific client. One second, I'm grabbing the link now. And this is for revenue-based non-startups with at least 3+ months time in business. I'll get into the startup stuff soon, eventually. So hang in there with me. Like I said, please hang in there with me. And I'm going to look at a specific YouTube video because I want to get the bit.ly link. Let me open up my YouTube studio. One second, guys. There it is. Hopefully you guys can see that on the screen. And I'll come to the comments in a moment. Don't worry. But what I do, okay, let me answer this first then. Hopefully, let me know if you guys can click that link. But you guys can view it. It should open up an external tab. But keep listening to what I'm about to say. I get it, Jamil. I wanted to make sure I said your name right correctly. Appreciate you. Thank you, by the way, for leaving me this comment. And I want to address this for everybody in here who has that same objection or thought. I've been there. I know what it's like. How can a person get on a call with you? Because entering the information on the internet is scary. So here's what I want to address. I know some of you might think where I'm going with this. I don't take every call. Oh, I'm going to drop like a fly. I don't want to work with them. No. So this is already non-traditional funding. We're doing non-traditional ways, but it's very legitimate. It's very ethical what I do. My systems, my processes, my automation. I have to walk away from my day knowing that I have enough energy and time. If I were to be spending my time on phone calls every day doing 20, 30, or however much it may be, for me, it wouldn't be the most energy and time efficiently used. For other brokers, they're like, I'm an extrovert, or this is the only way I know how to do things. But are they the best for you? That's the question you need to be asking. And yeah, I could build more rapport quicker on a call. Okay, I get all of that. But it has to make sense, not just emotionally, but logically. And I cannot be always taking calls inbound, doing outbound calls, whether I had a team, maybe that'll happen in time. But I'm the best at what I do for a reason, because I structure the way I get access and what do I allow people to get access to. And I'm not charging people right now, or I don't think I'll ever, for a consultation, because I do more than just revenue-based, collateral, credit-based, profitability, cash flow, how to help with that. I have myself and my internal team and more options and a lot more exclusivity and secrets really that I can reveal with a lot of people one-on-one, and what to do better strategically and in longer term roadmap. But what I recommend, filling out that questionnaire, I'll have in time in the description, not right now. Replay's not done yet. So yeah, I didn't get time to put the description. I just wanted to do this spontaneously. You guys probably got an email from me. But the reasoning why I have you guys submit the questionnaire is because of this. It's because I need to know what comes into the table. I cannot, if you're not going to input information, all right, I may not be for you. I've had somebody not so long ago who said, I want to get on a call with you. I didn't even know anything about them, which is fine. But at the same time, like, I can't be accepting of just collecting calls and just 20 minutes in, 30. I love it. I love hearing you. I love getting to know the person, but like, man, and then I find out this never even went anywhere. And I just became the information guy. I have real estate investors right now who I'm just trying to ask about something, and they seek the information. I was more than happy to help without expecting anything. That's fine. I don't mind. That's okay. I detach away from the outcome, but at the same time, I'm not going to be spending all this energy and time. You guys got to understand that. And we have to do things a different way. And it's very safe and secure. For those of you in here who are watching, who have inputted it, who have received the response, even if you haven't, I'll get back to you. Let me know. It's very safe and secure. I'll let you guys know. I look at it from an underwriter. The underwriter, I know what they're looking for and the best. I really do. The lender or the lenders, which one is best. So I'm not going to send you down the wrong path and the wrong person, just because they want to make a commission, or I'm not looking at it from the money. I'm looking at it from the value. I care about you. And so why I asked for that, and there's a Facebook consultation to initiate. I usually say, hey, let's get a consultation, but it has to make sense. So let's do it first, Facebook. And if later on, when I send you the email questionnaire back, you have to look at that. I had a call with somebody not too long ago who they looked at my questionnaire, and I was going to do a Facebook consult with them initially, but they had looked at my questionnaire. They knew already. So I said, let's start Facebook consult, or no, let's do a call with them. So I called them at the time that our appointment was set. And I just asked them, how well did you look through my questionnaire? Yeah, I got it. They had already submitted an application. So I'm like, great. So it wasn't like we had to spend time too much talking about every little detail on those qualifications. So by that point, all they needed was clarity. And you don't always need a phone call. I've funded businesses doing millions upon millions a month, not even years. And literally, they do it because they trust me. They know what I got. They know what I can bring to the table. It helps them too. They might be introverted too. And there's people like that who just are hard to get a hold of. And don't be that person either. If I just try to send you an email, literally people just say something and they do a different thing. Be open. Don't just go away from it. I can help you if there's something else you need to do, or what's your approach. So that's why I recommend that. And I'm not saying it like as I'm shouting. I'm just trying to make sure you guys understand that. So I'm going to go into the share screen in a moment, but the story you guys are all anticipating. I've said it for the last, I don't know how many minutes, but we've been going far in between. So I had a recent business owner, and I don't look down upon them. I'm not saying they're bad at all, nothing like that. So don't twist my words, guys, for those of you in here. But very nicely, I don't know what I did to deserve these kind of things. It's just, it's a very volatile industry when you're looking for specific funding and you cannot get it, or your expectations weren't met, but you have to start somewhere. So what happened is I got this restaurant business owner, $200,000 not too long ago at the end of December, just before we started the new year, first quarter, etc. They needed more funding. I'm not going to get into what they needed the funding for exactly and all that, but hey, okay, they're loyal. They'll come back, get more funding through me. I can help them with another provider. It's likely not going to be the same one. See, the wrong way of interpreting it is thinking, well, I got already funding with this lender, and they were an A-tier lender, like I'm telling you, top. And they thought going back to the same lender would help them and doing it this way. And they declined them specifically because of reasons in their business, but other things that they shouldn't have done. And then, okay, they turn back, come back to me. And okay, and I'm working with a real estate investor friend of mine. And he has that connection with them, set me up with them, communication, everything's there. And so, okay, resubmitted the application, looked at the document, got the documentation. We're looking at it all in our back end, going through underwriting. Great. We get to the point where they receive an offer. They received an offer of around 90, let's just say 95,000 to be rounding. So 95,000, they were given another offer around the 80,000. They could have realistically got anything up to about 95,000. So 200,000, it delayed of December, getting 90. Oh my, that's a big amount. Usually you get half at that point. If not, more of the funds are paid off on their first position, then you could get more on the second position. Doesn't mean better terms, doesn't mean better rates all the time because you're taking on more debt. You're not in one position. And so what happened is, yeah, they took the higher, let's say it's 95,000. They needed it for what they needed. They wanted 150. Yeah, we weren't going to get them that with where they were at the time. And so, okay, we go through the next part where now we're going to go through final underwriting. So first, we're sending over the contracts that were created for them, and then a decision logic bank verification link, which is what we can send separately from the provider here, from this person here. And I'll let them know. I'll let you know. And so when it gets through, this is the expectation why we do a bank verification logic link check. Sorry. But I'll try to leave a video to the decision logic, hello sign, all this stuff in case you're like, well, I don't know. It's very safe and secure. How's the money going to be deposited? How's the lender going to know and verify that you're making the money, the revenue, the sales currently, et cetera, that, hey, if we had to readjust because of your current sales, we got to drop the amount. You didn't show us another person on your application, another owner, like the way we would ask for. Well, this is why the lowest credit score, blah, 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 blah. That's the position you put yourself in. And so they had to do that. After doing all that, my person comes back to me, my team, Michael, they just took funding about a week or so ago, or however long ago it was. Say no more. There was a brief pause. Him too. Disappointment. I can see it in his face and my face. And he goes, but we can get them 15,000 if they want it. Okay, thanks. Let me go back to them and let them know. So from 95,000, let's say that number, down to 15,000, not even half. And this other provider they took money from was around that same amount, 15 to 20, if not a bit more or less. But what we were able to do with my connections, with my team, I put my reputation, I went to put more energy and time making sure that this lender that we have a close relationship with, for everybody else, they wouldn't have done the same thing. But for myself and because of my team and because of who they know, they went to battle and they put themselves out there to build that relationship up with this person. And they still can. They can come back, but it's like, you should have said something. You should have at least let us know that there was a second position. Do we always have to ask? No, we don't. Yeah, there are a lot of times where I will, but that was a position where, hey, loyalty coming back. We know they had just one position, going to get a second position. And sometimes you can't find that out earlier in the underwriting unless we ask, but not always will it be. It's kind of common sense. And sometimes you don't have that and it's fine. It's like you don't know. I'm not saying you don't have common sense. What I'm saying is you don't have that know-how. So that's okay, but just speak with me and work with me because I'm going to be there. I'm going to help you. And that happened. And I'm like, my real estate investor friend and a few people, we felt backstabbed. We did. We felt somebody just went behind our back and did things the way they wanted to, whether they needed the funding or not. I mean, they didn't consult and, still help them out, but it's like no more energy or time needs to be spent on that person, or at least for now. Maybe later on they change their ways. It's just, that's not right. It's not the best way of me even thinking about it anymore. I said I wouldn't think about it, but I'm bringing it up to you guys. So be very loyal with someone. Have that. Don't just be like, oh, I just got to select something and everything. Now, I'm going to go into a tab here, and there's more to that story. I don't want to get too deep into it. That's what I call friction. That's what I call resistance. And that's post everything. So again, that link is down below in the description. I'm also going to put another one right now. Let me go ahead and do this. If you haven't filled this out, I'll leave the funding questionnaire. If you haven't filled that out, if you have, you can hold off on it. And I also want to leave another link. Let me open up this video so I can grab the bit.ly link. 1 second. There it is. Should be that. Let me see if it works on this tab. Okay, there it is. So this will be a gigantic post that you guys can view, and I'll close up shop here in a little bit. Let me go into the startup funding, and I'm going to open up a new tab. I'm going to open up this part of the tab. Move over here. I want to open up. Yeah, let me do the share screen. Present. Share screen. Okay. What you are seeing on your screen, for those of you who are a startup, and I'll go to the comments. If there's anyone else who likes to comment, please do so. Or forever hold your peace. No, I'm kidding. But in the comments, I may leave this too, or the description may not be there. It's okay. The questionnaire, that's what it's for. But if you're a startup or you already have a business and you want to open up a new one, I'm going to go through those very quickly. I'm not going to go through every bit of detail. I want to close up here and have some closing thoughts. So here it is. So there are many, and I say right here, I should even put this in red for you guys. I don't know how many of you guys won't do. I know a lot of you won't. So here, and I read everything. Read it like it's a contract. Here, I'm going to put it even in 50. You see that? Please take the time to fully read them so you understand them. Now, okay, that's a little obtrusive. Let's bring this back down to earth and put it at least 15. So please take the time to fully read them. And that's what I'll also say in the questionnaire that I send you. If you have any questions to it, send me an email back. Hey, I just need clarification and I need to justify something. Is it a quick phone call? Not always is a phone call needed, guys. I know you guys feel scared about putting information online, but you have a trusted person. You have a person in me who I won't share your information with someone else. I'm not doing that. I'm not a creditor. So when that, not the application, well, application will, of course, but the questionnaire, please be thorough. I have people who just submit it and I'm like, what can I do with this? Like, I skip over those people because I needed to know credit. I know how you feel about that. And if it's not done, it's fine. I won't always skip over those people, but it's just like, I'm missing information. They're telling me this, and I'm like, is it 4 months time in business? Is it a year? Like, I got to go look at it from their business name that they put. And if I can't even find that easily, now I just spent 20 minutes circling. I shouldn't have to do that. Now, over here, going back into the screen, the SBA 7A option, and I'll give you the name of who they are with somebody like Southend Capital is a great solution. And I won't always give that away right away, but this is for any SBA type of setups. There's other things too, but for SBA is what I would recommend, and I can work with you on that front to see if that's the best. And then you would need an equity injection of at least 25 to 30%. And I've done a review on them, by the way. I'll try to link you guys into the description. But don't just go over there and just say, oh, I'm going to apply, because you want a strategic partner in a relationship with someone who's going to help you collect everything and understand, be transparent, because will you always get what happens in feedback and underwriting? No, you won't always, you're not going to get it. You're always going to get a surface level view where I can get more, I can collect more, I can understand it better, and I have that in the door. So that's why just going to the SBA.gov site and just trying to find somebody as a preferred lender that way isn't in your best interest. So 25% to 30% equity injection for an SBA 7A loan. Now, it used to be, or it could be at 10% depending on the situation, experience, and more, but you usually see 25 to 30% equity injection. If you don't have one, well, that won't work usually. You'll have to look for other forms of a down payment. You have to look for perhaps getting a personal loan, business credit cards you can liquidate cash out of. I mean, there's so many ways, but we're just trying to get a loan, and you guys don't focus on the personal and business credit, optimizing that. I'll leave more resources in the description in time. So you need experience too. It just depends on that as well. For startups or franchise startups, we could do less than 2 years. Preferably, if you're less than 2 years, you're still considered a startup depending on the revenue level of how new the business is and operating. Maybe you have an entity, but you haven't been in full operation for. Less than 12 months, a lot of the time, though, is preferred. We can look at it per case base for startups or for franchise startups. Documents and information will be there. If you're a non-startup, you can also use the SBA 7A. That's an option as well. And I can leave that for you in a different location. It won't be in the first link that I put into this comments. That's for a different place. That's why it's important to fill out that questionnaire. But if you know you can't qualify for the SBA already, you know you can't qualify for certain other services, and the revenue base is the way to go, that's where I would begin. So there you go. There's non-startup solutions as well. Profitability matters. Cash flow, historical tax returns matters. Profitability, of course, the stronger cash flow, the better. Collateral isn't the primary need, but it's what we will look for in case we do need to put a lien on your home. Consider that other form of real estate, other form of collateral. A lot of the times the SBA will do that, insurance policies and things like these. So it's very common. Credit, cash flow, collateral are the three that the SBA looks at. So do you have equitable collateral? If so, what and how much? Do you have liquidity and post-closing liquidity? If so, how much? How much of a down payment can you provide? This goes in part with the equity injection across on the question above, and it can be an infusion. What relevant experience do you have, if any, or similar? And there's more details. I'm going to go through all of them right now, but there it is. You have the personal business startup loan, as you see right there. That's a different sequence. It's not the link that I shared with you earlier, the first one. This would be through a different provider and a different lender. And so with like a personal / startup loan, guys, and I'm going to close up. I'm trying to close up here soon, really, is a different app sequence. So it is a soft pre-approval. FICO, Experian will lead to, we need to look at, excuse me. That's what happens when I speak for a bit. I'm an introvert, so it happens. But no shame in my game, as they say. I rarely ever do say that. But the thing is, you have to understand that every app sequence is created differently for startups and non-startups, asset-backed, business lines of credit, how they're reviewed, term loans, lump sums, SBA loans. I've done them all. And so with this personal / business funding / startup loan, yes, we can get you a term loan or an installment loan as it's known as well, up to about 350, up to 300,000, up to 500,000 in some cases with 1 to 5 year, if not 3, 5, 7 year terms. And so it stretches out your rate as well, where we can do between 6 to about 18%. In this market, I see about 7 to 15%, higher, of course, based on credit, based on other factors. So if you look at it, you go, well, I don't want it on my personal side. I need it on my business. Well, this is going to show, it's going to report timely payments. And so if you're in a position as a startup, and if it's not concrete, and if it's a non-startup where you only have to resort to that and you're looking to save more money and you're like, well, I don't mind it showing on this side, but I wouldn't want to do that cash advance because of the higher rates. And it's not all about the higher rates. It's about maximizing your funding leverage. And if you're in the door with a lender, continue to build it depending on where you begin. Over here, they report those. If you go bankrupt, now that displays, that's not good. Your family is probably on the line. You have a personal guarantee and all of this stuff. Well, be careful. The cash advances, if they don't report, usually a lot of the times timely payments to the personal and business credit bureaus for the most part, then that's good in a way where it's like, okay, it's not building business credit, but that's not the primary look. There's other ways. You go, well, okay, it'll help protect me. Now, if you default, that's the problem. That's where it can impact your credit. And there's a lot of people who try to come back from a default. You probably have multiple positions. You can't pay them down. You can't do reverse debt consolidation. Those become more expensive. They even pile on more debt. You get paid weekly on this advance or these. And then at the end of it, you have a $30,000, $50,000 amount you have to pay in return. So know what you're getting yourself involved with different services. So what will happen is you'll go through this and we'll look at it if you want to do a personal line of credit, personal term loan, line of credits on that end, lump sum. There's also personal credit cards and or business credit cards. 680 is fine, 700 plus FICO is preferred. And the requirements are there. I won't spend time on this. I've made other content on this already, guys. Let's just speed through this. But the cost of capital, 24 hours, 1 to 2 weeks usually to fund, sometimes 3 to 5 weeks. Soft pull initially for pre-approval. To get hard offers, it's a hard pull, which is the standard. You can decide then if you want to move forward. Note, the origination fee for one of these personal / fundings, it's 15%. Let me level with you guys. Don't drop like a fly when you hear that. There's a reason for everything. Why is it 15%, Michael? Why can't we get you 100,000 as opposed to a bank getting you 10,000 more or less? Because the experts, they know what to do. They know how to maximize. They know how to read and understand your business. They understand what you need the funds for, unlike a bank would normally. Like you have multiple things. You're like, I'm trying to open up a lot, a trucking lot for this. And then like, what? I've seen that happen to friends and family too. And so what they could do at a bank, if you were even to get approved, even if you weren't, it's like they only got you 20,000. Over here, we'll probably get you 50 to 100, closer to 75,000. Could you use that? Sure, it's 15% origination fee. You got to look at everything, but it's off the amount that you're getting for the majority of the time. Does the benefit exceed the repayment? Does working with the experts and having leverage and then having multiple and then working towards more work for you? That's what you ultimately have to pay attention to. Is it cost effective? If I have mortgages, if I have rent, if I'm doing a subdivision, a sub 2 project, or I'm taking on a mortgage from a real estate investor and I'm making payments on it and I want to make sure I get personal funding and then I want business credit cards. Are you doing it correctly? That's the question. And so right here, let me go back into this. So we may be able to do 12%, but not always. Each file, they are different. And the fee is not ridiculous. Again, when I said it's unsecured, no collateral, max funding. You can maybe walk into a bank like I give you the scenario here. And you have to keep in mind the benefit exceeding your repayment. And maybe it's a lot better than what you would get with the cash advance. But you're building a relationship on that side anyway. So even if you get a higher rate or so, slightly, or even if it's higher, then it should benefit you. It should give you the benefit of exceeding the repayment, period. Important details, of course, is based on credit, less than 35% utilization. Others would say like 40, 45%, depending on the service. Minimal recent inquiry, strong credit history, no recent negative items. Based on your debt to income, that's how we can see how much we approve you for. And I'm working with my underwriters on this, and I'm seeing this on the back end. The applications, and I have one actually open on my screen that I can't show you guys because it is confidential information from a client, but I have these applications that come through. And so no recent negative items based on DTI. Try not to have too many recent new trade lines, as that also doesn't help. Try not to have any other loans like closed accounts as well, doesn't help you. Try not to have other loans you just took as it can raise your DTI and utilization to get you nothing or perhaps way less. We can try to combine it with the business loan, advanced equipment loan, real estate loan. You could use this for real estate investing. And we can do it in multiple ways as long as your DTI is low enough to work with and it's something that we're available to. And then there's more what we would require. So in this process, what will happen is I'll ask for you to submit the soft pull pre-application, pre-approval. You get one. I get feedback from my underwriter. Yes, green light, good to go. Next step, do you have verifiable income with this amount? Then we can get you between this range in the form of installment loans, personal lines of credit, credit cards. Now, I need you to verify by giving me and showing me your personal tax return, your most recent. And that will be sent to me usually via email so I can verify it myself and with my team as well. It's very safe and secure, guys. This isn't no loophole. This isn't no unethical practices. We need to make sure you have what you say you have. How are we going to give you money based off nothing? So verifiable by I was going to say payroll. I started to think on the ERC program, payroll tax documents 941 and so forth. But personal tax returns, usually we ask for 2 to 3. In the beginning, I may just ask for your most recent, just to look at. Okay, good. Now we're going to need to, since we verified that, we can do it with pay stubs as well, but we're going to ask for personal tax returns a lot of the times initially. And so, okay, you get the green light from myself and the underwriter. Great, they enjoyed it, they saw it. Now the next part is you're going to have at least a 10 to 15 or so minute conversation with the underwriter, period. It has to be done for the majority. Maybe it isn't over time, but that's how it is, and it should be, because they're going to justify and they're going to explain to you more or less of what the process I've already explained, but more. Go into detail. Here's probably more on what they will do on their end. So just so you know you're in the right, not in the wrong. And then from there, then the next step is collecting the documentation. Myself and or my team can collect, and we can see that, we can get it, and then move to the next step. And then we understand what we can get you in the combination of. So there's that option. Let me go back into this, and there's more to the process. But don't just say, I've had people who come into this go, I don't want it because and it's okay. You might have your reasoning, but they go because of economic reasons, because of, okay, besides the economy, like, do you understand that I don't care what the rates are? Like, I'm in a position now where I can get really good rates, terms and rates and so forth. What I care if I'm using this money to a better benefit. If you don't have a business plan or if you don't know what you're doing, of course, you're going to struggle. You're going to say, well, I don't know if I should let's hold off on let's meet at the end. Well, why did you apply now? Well, I didn't expect that. Well, what did you expect of yourself is the question. The number one question you guys should walk away with today is, what do you expect of yourself? I said that earlier this week. What do you expect of yourself as a person and as a business owner? Not just business, not just reputation, character. I value character tremendously. I don't want this flip-flop. Well, have your demands and they don't get mad. Oh, I'm going to go as a Sally and I'm going to go as a John or whoever you are and just going to run away from things. Face them head on. I won't pressure you. I won't say, take this money. If you don't take it, and if you don't want to take it, don't take it. But don't waste my energy and time getting through that all and then just find out that, well, the rates and the terms and yeah, you just don't have any good use for the money. You're just going to probably go backwards. And you can't justify making that repayment. It doesn't exceed your benefit. Or even if you had to do that, I have people come to me, Michael, I need it for emergency funds. I need it for this first. I'll come back, or I'll use the rest of it now for growth and expansion. I'll be set back for about a month. I really can't get off the ground again until a month. So I really need these funds. And then right after that, once I get this truck service or whatever it is you're doing, boom, revenue. Dip from 20 to 15, 10. Now I'm back to 20. Now I'm back to 30. Now I'm back to 40. So that 20,000 you're paying back on that 15,000 or whatever it is, you're crushing it. Not this whole I'm going to cry about it. Good debt, not bad debt, okay? Bad debt happens. Can you convert that into good debt? I've been there before. I've used bad debt, but I had to learn, how do I use this as good debt? And you're different in your business. I can help you understand it better, though. So here, let's go back. So that'll be asked for. You have another option, but I would usually say don't do that. Skip it. It wouldn't be in your best interest. It might require 700 on all 3 consumer credit bureaus, where another one is 680 for specific service, where we can get you a limited amount. But until you have stronger credit on all 3, we could do a combination of more. And then this is where the credit line hybrid comes into play. And I've created content on this, where you can get 0% interest credit cards for 6 to 18 months and up to 150, up to 250,000 with corporate credit. So I have my resources and my understanding on how to do this. I've been able to do it for myself. I understand how to leverage personal and business credit cards, how to disassociate my business from personal. And so for those of you who are wondering, like, I want these credit cards. Yes, you can get them even with less than a 700 credit score, of course, but you don't have a fully optimized credit. You might not be able to get those 0% or liquidate the cash out of, or however you want to use them. Transfer them, bank transfer them over, or balance transfer them over to a check, then that check gets deposited, or balance transfer them over to an account. There might be no fee depending on how long you have a term of 0%. Other ones that may be. So how would you like to get that? You can liquidate the cash out of, use them for any investments. Real estate investors, those of you in here who are watching, very, very, very good service, like strong. Let me put this back. And I've gotten a lot of people this, whether you're a real estate investor or not, personal loans, personal funding, that as well. You can use that as a down payment for property. You can use it as all in one, however you decide to. Your banks aren't able to help you liquidate fast enough your cash, or they're not allowing that. It's a different relationship. It's a different breed always going to your bank. And it's harder in a lot of cases, even if you can qualify through them. But the credit line hybrid, 24-hour pre-approval, 0% interest for 6 to 18 months. There's no documentation required. So really no bank statements, no financials, really truly no doc. If we were to ask for them, it's because it would be a better benefit. You're a business owner. You're already operating. They can do more for you. They're probably going to ask for it. Okay, that's fine. You deal with it. If I can get more from this and better terms, rates, etc., like my business is performing enough. But a lot of the times, no doc. Even startup friendly, true no doc. Qualifications, I just went over some of the credits, but credit card 3 years old with 5,000 plus limits. It must be a primary card. And these kind of change from time to time, so you might see that, but not always. Minimum of 2, and gotta put the number 2, open revolving accounts within a year and a half of good payment history, so in good standing. Under 40% utilization, so the difference between the other one, 35-30, 40% utilization here on these cards. On all revolving accounts. No more than 4 unsecured accounts open in the past 12 months. No more than 4 to 6 inquiries per bureau in the last 6 months, preferably less. No bankruptcies within the past 7 years. No open unpaid collections, liens, or judgments. So I want to move this over. We're going to close up here just before an hour. I know we went far and beyond. But what I want to say is it depends on what type of funding you're receiving. So you saw the amount of inquiries per credit bureau that you're limited to. Others would say no more than 4 in the last 12 months per credit bureau, 4 per credit bureau, 3 in the last 6 months, 3 no more than 3 in the 3 credit bureaus in the last 6 months. So it can vary, but hey, if this is a position you need to get out of and you need help with credit repair, I'll leave my number 1 resource. And I work with the best in this industry. I used to do some of that credit stuff myself, but I need to outsource it to someone, and they are the best at what they do. I have a great personal business relationship with. In time in the description, you can view that. So let's go back to this. We'll try to run through this quickly. Step-by-step process, complete the form. And this can look a bit varied over time. We're going to consult and work also with my internal team on all of this. And I'll be giving a heads up on what's happening in parts of the process. But SBA microloans, harder to get right now in this market. Community Advantage program, harder to get. Angel investors, you can go down that route. Equity crowdfunding is a huge one. So crowdfunding here helped out people get that. You can get investors to help you. You can get a community of them and people putting their money in to help you and raise capital. And this is a good way to go. Different equity crowdfunding options, venture capitalist options, private hedge funds. There's that. Other VC and angel investor options. Then you have other margin accounts, financial guarantee, bond stocks, 401k IRA financing, fixing, increasing your FICO, credit repair, home equity lines of credit. The list can go on and on. Friends and family, we can go even more. Business credit cards, there you see that. 401k, stocks and bonds. We can work on that. SBA idle updates, not a lot right now. ERC program, and I'm going to end up right there. But real estate submission form, if you have real estate stuff you need to look at. Equipment, if you're looking for equipment and you're a startup, if you have the right credit, right profile, and that's also based on how much you'll put down and so forth. That option may be on the table as well. So you can see all of these here that I recommend and where to begin with, and it's different for each person. So let me close up here by saying a few things. I'm tired now. And I'm an introvert, guys. I just have to practice video, and when you hear me, you're like, whoa, he's good at speaking. Well, it's because I have the skill set. I do a lot of blogging, so I don't want to go too off on that, but I prefer to be the person on the back. Like if they say there's a silent partner who's doing a lot of the work, systems and the numbers and all that, that's usually me. And I prefer that. I love system engineering, especially in the marketing world, the back end stuff, the system engineering, the iterations of it, the lead generation, understanding the surface level, but also the back end, not just building the front end, but also building the back end and the relationship that comes with that, and a few more things. So I want to end the video by saying you got to see everything pretty much without me showing you. There's a post that I created in here. Actually, let me see if I can show you guys really quickly, and I'll go away from this. So let me bring this on the screen. Okay, so this might give you one lender or one organization, but if you read through this post, it'll give you everything. It'll give you all different options: collateral, credit-based, revenue-based, where to begin. You have more than 25,000. There's a need for that. Can you qualify for that? This is where I would begin. If you don't have that and you're a startup, like I said right here, how about a personal/startup loan credit line hybrid with 0% interest? Boom. It'll navigate you to the right page, and you want to read through that, watch it if there's a video, and then get to see it and be like, well, I have a 680 credit. I have this in revenue. Well, I can begin here, and I can move and navigate there. The rate and term underwriting details, it's the best of the best. And don't be like, well, I can go get something else. Well, go try to. People will overpromise, underdeliver. They'll bait and switch you, or they will get you something, but it wasn't nearly what you should have gotten, or it wasn't the right partnership to build. And yes, they're being more lenient, but they should have been harder with you, and they shouldn't have done that. And so a lot of them are just looking to make money. We're not in it for that. We're in it for the value. And that's how we're different too. Canada funding. And then can you stop making payments? I have all that. Personal guarantees, of course. Like, we wouldn't. You have to build a relationship even with business credit cards and all that. And a lot of these require that. Like, here's what you would need for that service. Here's the business line of credit. And if you needed more and you qualified for more, what would be that option? But here it is. Equipment financing. If you're trucking, then it might not have you go to this one. There might be another one, or this for that. Asset backed. What is the right option? You can view that segment here. And I might say, hey, if you have other kind of assets that you want to look at, we can look at that, and a few more things, some extra bonus tips and bonus material. And that's just the exit pop-up, which is fine. It happens. I know some of us are getting irritated by those, but just want to make sure you guys get the best. So I guess that's everything. I don't know if there's anything more I need to touch upon. Let's just recap very quickly. The post that we just saw will be in the description in time. I showed you guys the first link, which is the application link. I may leave that as the first one. There might be another video like this that I release maybe tomorrow or in time, where I created it separately, somewhat similar to this. Less lengthy though. And so the loan application, revenue-based financing, we can do asset-backed. And if it's not the right asset-backed, then I can work with you if there's another one. Credit-based, it's not a credit-based service when you click that first link or the application, but there's other ones. There's that post. You can fill out the questionnaire. I'll show you the right service. Something new comes up. You want to be in the know. You don't want to be someone who's like, okay, this happened 5 months ago, and then 5 months today now, it's like it changed. Or if it didn't change, this is now what this lender is doing more differently to help you. Different SBA 7A loan lenders for specific industries. Some of them they were open to once. Now I find out that they're not open to. And so sometimes we find that out in the app process. Sometimes we find it out before. I usually know about it before, but it happens. And then I go, okay, well, this one is better. This one could work, but you got to work on this first. So hopefully you guys got value out of it. I haven't even had breakfast. This is probably the time I have breakfast. Usually I have brunch these days. I'm tired, long-winded. Please be energy and time efficient, guys. Let me move into this over here. Sorry. Hi, Marison. How are you doing? Nice. And how's business been going for you this year? How's everything? How's family? How are your friends? I'm not sure if you're in here still watching, but I will answer what you are saying here. So you're interested in getting funds. It just depends on what you're looking for, depends on the service or the why you want the funds in the first place. What's the service we'll get in? What's the how on what's the application process, or more so what I already said in the beginning, just depends on the service. So that's great to hear. The first link, I'm not sure if you saw, you can click and it'll take you over to the app sequence, or it'll take you over to where you need to get started, which is what I said in the beginning. The business capital tab, there's different ones. But qualifications wise, guys, it's not as simple. And I want to leave it at this. I believe we're at an hour now. So when somebody tells you, be careful about who you listen to first on YouTube. Be careful who you listen to from blog content, from social media. Yes, there are influencers out there. You may consider me one. Am I getting paid that way? No. There are people who are, though, paid sponsorships and that. That's how they make their money. They don't make all their money by sending you an application. And if they do, they probably got lucky from it. So just be careful. Just because somebody gets 10, 20,000 views doesn't mean they're any better. I've seen people who produce 20,000, 30,000 views because they were in this a long time ago, longer than I have. That doesn't make them any better. And they produce content around grant opportunity. Who wouldn't want to view a grant? Like, come on, let's be real. Who's going to not view a grant? Free money. Great. That attracts people, but does it attract the right people? And it's harder in this market. So just be very careful about what you're listening to. A lot of people read from a prompt. I could tell when people are. I've seen that. I'm like, I've heard that content before. Or even if they're not, it's like, do they really know their stuff? And I'm not saying I wouldn't read something. Like, I have material that I'm reading. Like today I read a bit of it. But it's not like, it's not ethical. It's very ethical. And I'm going to give you extra stuff on top of that. But just be careful, because somebody says, hey, you can get 52,000 a day, and you have to have a strategic way of looking at it. Where do you start? I have a plan. I've done this myself. So you have unsecured business funding, personal funding, secured funding. How do we look at that? Business credit cards, personal credit cards. Next level up. Where are we? But before even all of that, your foundation, you haven't even discovered the bottom part of building your business foundation correctly, your LLC, state of articles of incorporation, 1099, whatever you're doing. And then here, what do you use the funds for? Why do you really need this? Is there a huge enough of a pain or problem here to get you funding for? Can you reasonably know how you will use that money? Do you know? I know. If I'm going to put it into marketing, I'm going to use my business credit cards. I'm going to use something different. I'm not just going to go get a loan. And I know how to use this money correctly. Now, if I needed more for my campaign, my advertising, I needed it for products, for supplies. Yeah, I can't get money fast enough. That won't work. Okay. Well, I need an additional amount, a surplus amount to grow and expand. Well, okay, let me go seek out 50 to 100,000 or whatever it is. I know I'm going to pay it back. 60,000, pay back 70, 80,000. Who cares? I'm going to make 90,000 from this. I know, even if I don't, I have other things to back me up on, and I know where I'll be. So understand what you're using your funds for. I don't want to keep saying it, reiterating it, but we don't drill that in our head enough. You got to hear it about 7 to 11 times to really get it. And if you don't see it, if you don't hear from me like this, well, can you just stop creating content and help? I've been helpful. Even when I can't get to you right away, I will in time. And the thing is, are you helping yourself? That's the better question. Are you helping yourself? When I ask you to do something, we're here. We're not there. We're here. If you're already there before, like, you know who you are. We spoke yesterday or the day before about the SBA loan process and how it was worth having a look, although I knew things like that would appear and wouldn't work. You had already started and you had already submitted things. I appreciate you. And for everybody who has already done that and will do that in the future. Not that you need to, but at that point, it's like you showed we're here. We're not here. We're not here. We have to come here to get clarity. Okay. I would love it. Great. Appreciate it. But we're here now. No more of this. We're here. Can you meet me here now? Are we regressing? Are we progressing? Are you letting your attitude and effort get in the way or not? Simple. Now, I'll explain everything to you guys for sure. You guys will know everything you guys need to know abundantly. I have my A to Z Funding Mastery Academy course. I'll leave it open for a little bit, but I have my A to Z Funding Mastery Academy course for free. Not sure how long I'll leave it open for. Nobody's giving you guys content like this, period. Find me somebody who is, who goes this deep, who has the connections with the lenders the way that he does in my team. Tell me somebody who doesn't just submit a link, put a link in the, this is why I don't bring up just, hey, when people ask me, where's the loan application? I'm not just going to send you an application if I don't know exactly what you have. How am I supposed to just send you over to my revenue-based, credit-based lender if I don't even know credit, I don't even know revenue? What do you have? This is why I asked for that questionnaire form, guys, because it doesn't mean one place is a fit for everybody. It might be where one place has a little bit of everything, but that doesn't mean it's best. Do you even know what the parameters are? No, I don't care. I just want to submit something. I'm tired of it. There goes another soft pull. Even if it's a hard pull too, at that point, you guys have to be very careful of that. So I'll go to the comments here. Yasir, how are you doing? I like the picture. In that picture too, it looks like you're a pilot. You may be on vacation though. A key, a whistle? Maybe you're at a sporting event. Looks very classy though, my guy. Appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody else in here watching. I'm not fake. Okay, I'm not at all. If you guys haven't met somebody like me, it's a good thing. You want somebody taking care of you. And I'm not laughing as in like, it's like laughing ridiculous. Like, I don't roll my eyes ever, but it's like, really? Like, it's laughable. Really? Like, that person does that? Yes, that's awesome. Yeah, I love the picture. Hey, I was nice. I saw that too. You drive a 777. Nice. And so I was watching. This is probably cool. I was watching. I just had the name, but the flight of the plane, the MH730 or something similar, from what was it, Malaysian Airlines to where are they going? Was it Vietnam, Bangkok? Apologize for that. And then I was also working. I was doing some things too, so I wasn't really. I was like listening, but I wasn't. And then I had to shut it down. But it was crazy. It was what happened. It's yet to be determined. I mean, we all have our theories. We don't have to say that, but it's a very interesting documentary, and what they revealed is unfortunate. Like, my heart was just like feeling for them, and just it's what happened. And some time ago, and it was something on Netflix. Yes, the MH370. Yeah, how it just went off the radar, and there's so many theories and everything that we saw and conclusions. And I'm not gonna give you guys my input. That's not what I'm here to do. Isn't it? Yeah. And that's what it exactly, I think, is. It's a conspiracy. And so many things. What are people trying to hide? What do they not want us to know about? Why didn't they find more debris from that plane, if any? Why wasn't it larger pieces? If it would have fallen the way that, like, see what I mean? I can get into all that, but I won't. But it's pretty interesting. Tonight, I might finish it. Or I might go to family members. I usually hang out with my cousins, guys, these days. Instead of friends, like, I'm at a point now where it's my family and my close family. I have my cousins. We see each other. My younger brother, we all get together. And we go over, we hang out. Sometimes we go out. It's a close knit. And I have many friends, and so it's like when I get a chance to see them, I will, but it's not like I go out of my way to. We'll go over more. I'll see more of the emails for sure. And I'll see more of what's there first to begin with. But let me go ahead and write this down. And again, I have to make sure. It's not that I don't, not trying to say I wouldn't never want to. It's just I want to make sure that it is most also appropriate to do so. And there are other ways of communicating this. And I say this again because even my team internally, they don't want to be called. Like, I get you might want to explain something to them, but at the same time, it's like they don't want that. There's reasons why certain people don't give you a number, because if they were giving out a number, then guess how many people would be calling them? Way too many. Others, they're fine with it because they have a receptionist or somebody customer support. I'm not just that person. Don't think of me, guys, as just the information guy or as just the marketing person, because I got to do these things for myself. We've gone over some time. Maybe I'll leave it open for about a minute. I did about 2 hours the other day on TikTok, so I'm not trying to compete there. But if you guys feel like you know what you received, if you guys are just sticking around for any questions, for any entertainment, I'm not a very entertaining person, then please do so. But in the description or in the comment section, you guys can go ahead and view that link to get started. I'll be notified. We'll get documentation. We'll review on our back end. I'm going to work for you guys. It's a Friday. Don't expect to get an immediate answer today. At this time, 12, a lot of the times, East Coast Standard Time, people are gone. And so This is something that won't probably be reviewed until Monday, Tuesday, maybe Tuesday at the latest. You get an offer, if anything. But just be transparent. That's all I ask. I'm not asking the world of you guys. Just like Yasir, I know you are. I know you're loyal. I've been seeing your emails, and sometimes I can't get back to everybody right away, but I know who each person is. I really do. I really do like to take the time to get to know certain people. And the thing is, I'm an introvert, so that's hard. It is. It's hard for me to do that. Really, really, it is to let people into my life. And if you get to know me, you're, I don't want to say the lucky few, but you're one of the lucky many who do, because it's just once I open you up into my world, open arms, you'll get to know who I am. You're like, this guy really is like that. Hey, I met Michael, or hey, I know about Michael. When people get on the call, hey, this is Michael, hey, and they go, I've seen your content, man, and it's really good. And I go, appreciate you, thank you. I'm just thankful. Literally, I don't know. I get the words out of, can't even get the words out of my mouth. It's just all up here. So, okay, yes, thank you for understanding, and I'll get to anything. And if you want to leave me another email, I'll try to look through things. I'm going to take a break after this is done, do a few more things, and end my day probably around 2 to 3, do a run. If you guys want to know, probably do a run or a jog or a walk, and then a run at around 3 or 3:30, maybe even earlier, so I leave office early. I have questionnaires to catch up on, of course, from that time till now, which I'll be doing some of them. So please be patient. Fridays, Saturdays are catch-up days. Please be empathetic, guys, because I'm not saying you have to give me sympathy. I'm just saying be empathetic. Put yourself in my shoes. If I get a lot of people who want my attention, what do you think that means? Not only does it mean that I'm doing what I'm doing right, or for certain people, it may not mean that, but what I do is I deliver. The deliverability of my message, the deliverability of the offer, the deliverability of everything is what matters. And so if you're in my shoes, if I'm getting bombarded with people just trying to call me, you think I'm going to pick up a call just to pick up a call? No. You think I'm going to give somebody easy access? Do you think just because you heard from me once and you're like, where do you go? Nudge me, show me like in a message. That's what I would do to someone else. If I'm wanting the attention of, and it shouldn't be always hard to get. Not everybody will have to go through that. I get it. But if I'm working with a higher influencer, if I'm working with like a Tony Robbins, if I'm working with a Russell Brunson, and I'm working with these A-list people, then what do? I knock on their door more than once, more than twice. I don't do it today. Well, I come back. Hi, Michael. I've had people who I have like cleared the air with, and I'm happy if you're watching. Well, you guys were probably upset with something, and then you came back and realized that, hey, I love you. I care about you. I really do. I'm not just saying that. And I'll leave here today and be like, no, I really do care. And it's like you got to learn something first. You shouldn't have to make those mistakes. If you can learn from me, or you can learn from someone else, you don't have to go through them yourself. So let's leave it open for about another minute. If nobody has anything, I'll close up. If somebody does, I'll reset the time to a minute. I'm looking at one of my other tabs. I got a notification from a lender. Guys, no shortcuts. Please work on optimizing your credit profile, personal and business. If you guys need help with that, I can do that. But it's not enough to just say, here, let me move this over. It's not enough to say that I think I've done enough. I think, or you know you've done enough. And again, if you don't know these things, I'm not bashing anybody. It's just, let's take time to learn them. So here, let me open up this. I'm looking at an application from a client. So here, okay, I see that. They're just requesting something before they leave out of office. All right. So nobody has anything? 30 more seconds. And I saw that too. And then you need help fixing your PC and building. Got it. So this is something that I can help with. I just got to see exactly everything else that you bring to the table, as in like revenue, as in credit. But again, I'll look over those things again. And now that I know that even more, I'll try to take time to go for it. But today, like I said, I'm catching up. I have a few people that I have on my list right now that I need to go through, that I've also had to prioritize. But I see what you need the funding for. as long as it's of use and you do have a use for it, and as long as it's maybe something quick and temporary, I'm sure it'll be, and you can pay it off faster, great. So you don't take, maybe if it's going to take you a setback in cash flow, I don't want it to, but you take a temporary setback to go forward. Not every business is going to do that. If you need to take something that you know will help your cash flow indefinitely or however you see it, the benefit exceeds your repayment, then do so. But yes, I always get reasonings too for what people need it. And so another thing is, when I ask for what you need the funding for, as Yasir here said, for what he needs, I'm asking because it helps. I need to know, like, are you renting out an office? Are you building out a new building? Because certain like SBA lenders won't accept that. Whether this revenue base, are you using it for a real estate investment? Okay, well, we can't use that for it. We need to go for business credit cards, personal credit cards. We need to do some maybe unsecured, secured financing. So yes, it matters when I ask, what is your expansion project? Or it's without me asking, like, give me something brief, or you can be expanding on it. It's fine. Expansion of it is better. But hey, I got marketing. Like somebody the other day, I love this. They listed for me their percentage of money going into inventory, their money going into payroll, their money into going to marketing, and they were more open and gave more of an explanation. And I looked at it, and from how I do these, I know where they're allocating their funds. I know what they need to do with what they have. So got it. I will. And you enjoy the rest of your day too. Get out there, let's all work on each other's health, relationships. We tend to, as a business owner, just work on our wealth. Okay. I was there at one point. I'm guilty, not nowadays, but I was at that point. Just focus on improving your health, those around you, relationships, making sure that we are a better person today than when we were yesterday, and that we are always grateful and thankful. And our faith and our spiritual components. I know I don't want to get hubba gabla and all that. I'm not like that. But I meditate, I stretch, I do yoga in the morning. I have my routines. I'm an old man already. At my age 30, I'm an old soul, guys. I'm an old soul. My younger brother would tell you that my mom some time ago made a comment. She saw me. I go, "You're such an old man." And I go, "Thanks." I don't try to. It's just, that's who I am. And that's like, was I always? No. But through experiences, I learned it. Through a lot of experiences, what to do, what not to do. School, I went to school academically, worked in a lot of different fields. I've done a lot already at my age. Lana, how are you doing? It's good to hear from you. How's your Friday? Yeah, I think I also did I receive an email from you recently? I think I did. Again, I get certain emails. I got to go back through them and look at them. But I'm not avoiding anybody, just so you guys know it happens. Nice. Yeah, so I can help you with a new construction loan. I'm actually doing plenty of those right now as we speak. Yes, and that's the case. So I won't go into all the details right now, Lana, because we're at the end of the video. So if you have any questions, just hold them off. And what I'll do is I'll likely email you. So what I'll do here, let me write this down just so I make note of it again. And I'll look through the email. I like your last name too, if I haven't told you. It's like fam, Okay. Yeah, I'll help you out with that. I have the best lenders in this space too for new construction. I speak to them regularly, my internal team as well. Doing things as well with custom home builders, all that, luxury homes, anything real estate fix and flip related, closing times. And what I've seen though, and I'm going on way too much now, but you guys have comments. I'm going to stick around for a little bit. And I said, if it resets, it resets. But don't be a tire kicker. I have a huge pet peeve nowadays where if you're just seeking information, okay, great, without anything that I expect in return, fine. But at the same time, I'm not going to go do that. I won't be spending time doing that because I know too many people will not take action And so I've had people even who work for the SBA then told me, Michael, the reason why I left this industry is because of people. Really what it is not because of money or things. It's because of the people. The people, they want information. They never did anything. I was probably their best option. They never wanted to do anything. They were just gathering a list, or they just never did anything. And so that's the same reason why I would leave this industry. All services, not just one, not just the cash advances that are volatile, but because people tire kick. Too many people are lazy. They're not effort seekers. They're not wanting to do things correctly. They waste energy and time. And so it's unpredictable with certain people. Not everybody, but until I find that right person, and that's why I focus on, well, it's not so much a demographic as it is the psychographic, meaning the person. How do you think? How do you compartmentalize? I think about what are their aspirations? What are their beliefs? Do they line up with me? Are they somewhat similar? Because as an entrepreneur and business owner and myself, I've created stuff, but it's like I look at it from a different lens. And if you were my broker and I felt confident enough in you and who you are in your business and stuff like that, and you know your stuff, you don't have to worry about me. I'll even tell you, hey, I'll have the application done in the next 2 hours. I'll send you the documents. Do you want them in the email? Do you want me to submit them online? Straightforward. I've had a lady who got 600,000 approved for at one point, and multiple others. They've got the funding. It's very rare that they can get it on the same day at that amount. But 600,000, 150,000, 300,000, like, you make my life easy, I'm going to make your life easy. You make my life hard, I don't know if I'll go above and beyond for that. I could, but it's like I got to go do something else. It's just, this isn't the best use of my energy and time. Yes, you have. I've taken notice. I know. For those of you in here who are still watching, who haven't left, appreciate you. We'll close up here soon. I know I've said that, a few comments. But yes, I understand. And I know who's the followers. I know who are the people who show up. I know who the people are who are responsive. Lana, you're one of them. I know who Nicole, Natalie, Bob, Johns, Mark, Michaels. I know all of you guys. I know who shows up and who doesn't. Literally, I don't forget. Personally, it's better for me because I can remember somebody like that than it is just business, because that's how you remember people, by their stories, by who they are. But I know who's showing up and I know who's not. I know who's showing up and just being a heck of a hassle, being stubborn, and that gets in the way. Like, they didn't even let that out the door. They just brought it in. They brought their baggage to me and my team, and in a way that it shouldn't have been brought. I guess there's baggage, yes, but the way that they did it is like, no, not doing that. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Does anybody else have anything they would like to add? Let me move up here. I think I saw one from Yasir. Yeah, FBA, got it. Nice, yeah. Amazon FBA, anything like that you can start off with, anything in the Amazon space. And I spoke with somebody who has products listed on the Amazon space. I won't list the exact product because I know there's a lot of people out there, competition. But yeah, I looked through their site and I looked through what they had on Amazon, and it was awesome. And the type of clientele that they have. So a lot of the times it's who you know, not what you know. But FBA, starting that with your kids, nice. How's the area there in Houston, Texas? But for vacation rentals, that would be awesome. Yeah, there's a market there for it. And these are things that if you ever needed help with, by the way, you have somebody you can trust on. I'm very dependable. But my question is, when I'm working, is the other person. I'm sure, yeah, I have multiple businesses too. Last night I was working on one of them. Like, I had to get caught up on one. But I'm going to be there. My question is, will that person? Not specifically, yes, here, you, because I know you are. Lana, I know you are. I know a majority of you are who are watching. But for those of you who are like, hey, Michael, I'm going to go get the documents and I'll have them over. And then where'd they go? They're like 2 weeks later. Like, that is unaccountable. That is an irresponsible person. Things come up. I get it. But hey, I'm going to send Yasir an email letting them know, hey, I'm not interested right now, Yasir. And I did that with someone else. They sent me WordPress software, some stuff to WordPress that I was interested in at the time for SEO purposes. And I sent Eddie, his name is, and I can look at it right here. I sent Eddie, he called and I didn't want to pick up. I'm not going to just pick up like that, even if I wasn't busy. But I said, hey, Eddie, thanks. How are you doing? He sent me something earlier. And then I said, at the moment, I'm not interested. but I will keep your information. And he did say follow up. He goes, yeah, just keep my information anytime you need help. Boom, simple. You trust people. You don't trust always the service itself right away. You trust the people you work with. And so that's what ultimately I want you guys to understand that. Are you? Nice. Okay, yeah, I'll go over what I'll do. What I'm going to do, Lana, is I'm going to put, I've made a video on this already. There's a couple. I'll show you. Yes, that's what I'm going to do, Lana. Yes. So I'm going to send you to my link. Here, I'm going to do this right now. Actually, right now, Lana, if you're still in here watching. I created this just about a day or two ago myself. And so right here, I love working on my websites and doing all this stuff. I can outsource, but I have a digital marketing agency. I've run that for some time. I know what I'm doing. And I can help you guys with even more. Just so you guys know, it's not just business funding related. It's a lot more. And so here I have, let me see, you might not see it on that tab because I have it on this one right now. Yes. Okay, Lana. So, and for anybody else in here who is in the new construction space, so I'm going to put that right there. Pretty cool. I think you're going to like this, Lana, as well as anybody else in here watching. And it'll be another questionnaire, Lana. So from what you've already have done, I'm going to want to see another one submitted. This will be a specific real estate questionnaire because I do see the ERC. I do see the SBA startup. So one thing I do want to make sure of, before you do submit that though, Lana, you could submit it. But what you're going to see on that page is for residential purposes a lot. So the ground up new construction, you're building luxury homes. If you needed it for like ground up construction and you're then converting that, it's a commercial real estate property. If that's what you wanted, let me know. I do see it right here, but it wasn't as clear in the email. I do see you say that you need the funds. You wanted to get help with the SBA on that. Your loan will be about that amount. Got it. How do I apply for it? So if it is a ground up construction, this is a commercial property mortgage situation, owner occupied 51% of it for a duplex. Got it. Okay. So yes, you can't use the SBA loan just so you know, for real estate investments. No passive income investment, guys. Nothing like that. A home, personal home, can't work like that. And so if that's the case, duplexes, apartment complexes, multifamilies, single families, those we're going to have to venture out a different direction. So for that case, you should be on the right page and you can watch the video. You probably already opened it up on a new tab and you're probably happy. You're going to be excited to see that. And I'll walk you through. It's a pretty lengthy video. So just watch it. Underneath it will be the qualifications, what we're actually looking for. You can click the button that'll take you over to my questionnaire on the real estate side for the ground up new construction projects and submit it. And then from there, I'll email you back. I'll respond back via email likely on what we can't do perhaps. And then I'll probably, if we get to the stage where I can submit to you the documentation, the application, I'll walk you through that in an email. You'll see it very clearly. I do that for everybody. And I've had people where I don't even have to get on a call. Literally, we don't really have to go through all that. But usually it isn't necessary. And this is very safe and secure. You'll get to see the best lender and what I recommend. Got it. Does anybody else have anything they would like to say? Let me give you guys a treat. I know I'm supposed to end the video. Let's keep it rocking. I have time. It's a Friday. And I should be getting caught up on questionnaires, more of them. But here, let me open up one of my bookmarks on one of my other pages. And this is stuff that I've been able to do myself and with my team for people with business credit cards and stacking different credit cards at 0% interest and more. So I'm going to open up this tab here. And I'm going to run through some quick ones that you guys can look at, but don't just go and apply. That's not the way you want to do it. Each one of them is different. So this is what I used as a guide for myself, as for other people, and it changes from time to time. But at the foundation is what is said here is you want to build your entity, making sure you have your business email, your business address, your phone number, where you want to get listed on the directories, how to list yourself, where to list yourself, how to do all this, get in the business public records, get your EIN number for free, making sure you have your state of articles of incorporation, because an LLC gets a lot more than what an actual single sole proprietor 1099. I've experienced that, and there's a huge difference depending on where you are though at your stage. But we're going to maximize your credit limits, get you different approvals. we can say one way to get around certain things if you're having trouble is a foreign entity, but I'm not going to get into all the details on that right now. And then you have your credit report optimization is what we work on. You must have certain things to qualify, FICO 8 scores, usually above a 700. In this market, 725, 750, but we can get on with 720 in credit. We've seen that as long as all else looks good. Usually less than 3 hard inquiries on each individual bureau in the last 6 months. A lot of the times, no more than 3 open personal accounts in the last 6 months, depending on what we're doing. What banks do we look at recommending you to get easy funding? So here's a list that I put together and what I've done and from helping others with myself and my internal team. And a lot of this too, we can act on behalf of you and go and speak to the bank or do something with the bank. And then at a point, we might ask you to go in because you have to build that relationship with the relationship manager at your bank is what I've learned. I'm in Chase. I can get it from other cards, other institutions too, which I have. But you have to with some of these, like a Chase bank, a US bank, walk in, speak to the relations manager, have it in so that they can help you even the next time around, there's better. And so a Chase Business Inc. card, you get 0%. Experian and TransUnion pull for the majority of the time. So Banner Federal Credit Union is another one, USAA, KeyBank. You can do a lot of other things. There are other credit unions if you wanted to look at that point from Navy Federal, if that's maybe a last resort or you believe is to be your best solution. Now, there's another step-by-step process. I have it all here that I'm not going to go over. We're at the end of this video. But you can decide to get cards from Chase. There's the 5 Chase rule. There's more to that. There's the US Bank. There's the Huntington Bank. There's different ones, but it's not just apply online. For certain ones, you have to go in and do it more for like the Chases and the US Banks of the world. And then some of them you can get no docs, no PG, like with a US Bank, but it just depends on the relationship and what you've already built on your credit history and do you have a relationship and etc. So it just depends. KeyBank, there's a few more. There's actually a lot more that I have here. But how we go about it, there's a step-by-step process. Once you get your credit profile, that's in funding mode. And I have a step-by-step process, myself and my internal team, and it's unlike anything else out there. We might say, hey, you can go to a Chase is what I recommend with your credit profile. We've already optimized this. So we're going to go in and we're going to ask for at least 10 to 20,000 is what I project we could get you here. Then you're going to want to go to a different bank and apply for this card and then for this card and then for that card. And you're going to go to the top 10 or so banks that's recommended by myself and my team. And yes, your credit will be pulled and there will be hard inquiries. But since they are not attached to any of the open accounts, we can remove these inquiries and repeat the process for you. And there's an experience process to this. And so you don't want to do it alone. But if you don't have the credit profile and you're like, I'm just going to go apply for a card, then you do it on your own time. Then okay. But it's all about optimizing personal and business credit. Okay, everybody, spent more than enough time on this Friday. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Let me see if I missed anybody. Okay. Appreciate you all. Thank you for tuning in. If you did find value, please give it a thumbs up. Share with others who you feel will find value out of it. A complete stranger, a friend, or a family member. Hey, click that share button or that share link. Send it out. Put it on your Facebook profile, your Instagram, wherever you can. You don't need to. I normally don't say that. But if you found value from it, somebody who needs a talking to, you're like, I got a friend of mine who's just stubborn, Michael, just hard-headed, or just he knows stuff, but he doesn't know it like that. He needs help. Send them my way. I'm going to help them. And I'm going to have a very structured way of doing it. Like Yasir's found out, Lana's found out, and many of you already have. And I'll take care of you. Not every lender, underwriter is created equal. This is why it's not in your best interest to just apply here. I heard about this ad and that ad. No. Now you're getting bombarded. Now you're getting pulled cards. And now you're getting a hard pull you didn't even know, but it happened. Or even if it's just a soft pull. And you're like, what's happening? Or you knew what was happening, but you're like, what the heck? And I'm like, this lender was better than that one. Why'd you go there? See, when you leverage me and my team, what we could get you, you missed out on. Now you got to wait, even if we help. You are welcome. Appreciate you. Thank you, Lana. And everybody else in here watching. I'm a bit tired, introverted. Probably going to keep to myself for the rest of the day. But appreciate you, Gal. Take 2. I won't edit this. I'm going to have an editor. See, this is raw material, right? It's not like editing. I can edit it, sure, but in time maybe, but I like the way it is. Raw footage, you guys hear it the way it is. Not always direct, could be indirect with me, but appreciate you all. Thank you for tuning in. I've said what I needed to. Down below in the description, link to get started the application, the questionnaire, the funding post, and more material will be down there. My email address, you can send me an email, but the questionnaire is the best way to do things. Common ground, come to this side. You guys got to conform to what I do on this side. It's not like I can meet you always 50-50 or you get 80, I get 20. It has to be a lot of the times over 50% on this side. And it's not a bad thing. It's just, it's not traditional. It's non-traditional. A lot of cases it is. Fintech companies, we can work on banks and do some things there. But you guys got to come to this ecosystem and know you're protected. A culture on this side, you go, well, traditionally we would be calling somebody working with business loans, and as a business, I want to get on a call with someone, but it's not always necessary, or at least initially, or at all. I've gotten clients funded without a call, to be honest with you. It has to make sense. And so I'll take care of you guys. Appreciate you all. Now's my time to go. You guys are all welcome. Appreciate you. And have a great rest of your Friday and weekend. And see you all soon.